Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. So today morning we saw Yasya Sannidhi Matrena Dehendriya Manodiyaha Vishayeshu Swakiyeshu Vartante Prerita. Because of the very presence of the Atma Swarupam, all the sense organs, mind and intellect, all they get energized and they function in their respective fields. Like a servant who takes the orders from the master and he functions. So like that, this Atma, the self, is both the illuminator, because of which the sense organs can know, and also which gives energy for the organs to function in the world outside. Also we have seen, though they illuminate everything, nothing can illuminate this Atma, the self. The equipments, the senses or the mind cannot illuminate. Meaning what? They cannot know it. So therefore, one has to go beyond the mind intellect or drop it to know it. Know it means to be it. You can only be. So when you are, it is of the nature of knowledge. So there is no doubt there. How would you know? There is no question of how would you know. It is of the nature of knowledge. How would you see? It is light. Light means it is evident, self-evident. So there is no question how would you see sunlight. Sunlight means it is seen, known by its, is seen by its own light. Is it not so? Something like that. Okay. And Ahankaradi Dehantaha Vishayascha Sukadayaha Vedyante Ghadavatyena. So starting from the Ahankara onwards till the Dehantaha and also the worldly objects and also the emotions inside, Sugadukadayaha, everything is known because of the Atma Chaitanya. Like Ghadavat means what? Very clearly, like you see a pot, everything is known. That is because of this Nitya Bodha Swarupina. Ever it is of the nature of knowledge. Nitya Bodha Swarupina. So it doesn't change or it doesn't perish. Always it is the same. So that is why Subramanya Bharati also says, Kadanai Madanai Vedanai Potri Mayangum Madiyirihal Yadanudum Nindrongum Arivondre Devamandrodi Ariro. He says, the pure knowledge is God, he says. It is not what you worship as Kadan, Madan, Vedan. The village deities, they are called Kadan, Madan, Vedan. That is not God. That which illuminates everything in the buddhi, that pure knowledge, that is God, he says. So that is what is said in our scriptures also. So this true knowledge which is shining in the heart, that is real God. And other gods what we worship, since the mind cannot comprehend the absolute, we worship them with the name and form. Yes, that absolute can take any form and it can bless you, but it is beyond all the names and forms. You understand? So only when you get fanatical about my God, then starts all the quarrel and strife, everything. There is no my God or your God. There is only one Almighty, or there is only one self. So if somebody talks about your God, my God, they have not understood anything about God. You know, it's all childish immaturity to talk about, you know, your God. My God is powerful, you know. You only pray to Shiva. What Shiva? Always he's in the smashana. You know, he's in the smashana and always in, you know, meditation. Come to our Narayana. He is a sustainer. He is nourisher. He gives you all wealth. So this kind of discussion has no meaning. And First our God and then all your God are serving him, That is how all the religion they portray. When you go to Shaktam, Ambal is everything. And Pavam, this Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva is under Ambal. If you go to Shaiva, Shiva is everything. And Narayana is everybody. Everybody machela. Meaning what? And if you go to Bhagavatam, Narayana's literature, Shiva is nobody. Pavan Shiva. Or overatla irpar. You know what? See, all these Puranas have come to help the devotee to get more devotion to his particular God and to evolve. It is not to say that my God is superior, your God is inferior. And not only that, he is the mama of this God, machan of this God, he is son-in-law, father-in-law, I don't know what. So, everything goes. But the true knowledge which is shining in the heart, that is the God. That is the real form of God. Pure consciousness, the pure existence, that is God. Which encompasses everything. Nothing is excluded in that. Everything is included in that. Nothing is excluded. That is why atheists also are included. The criminals are also included. Everything is included. Nothing is excluded. All inclusive means only this Atma Tattvam. Nowadays people talk about, all inclusive approach. This is the thing which includes everything. Okay, now we have seen till 1:30, I suppose. We will move on now. Yeshontaratma Purusha Puranaha Nirantara Kanda Sukhanubhutihi Sadaika Rupa Pratibodha Matraha Yene Shitavag Savascharanti Yeshontaratma Purusha Puranaha Nirantara Kanda Sukhanubhutihi Sadhaika Rupa Pradibhota Matraha Yene Shitavaga Savascharanti Yeshaha Antaratma Purusha Puranaha Purana Purushaha. This Antaratma, that self which is in the cave of one's heart, that is Antaratma. It is the Purana Purushaha, ancient Purusha. Ancient means what? Time is born only from him. So you cannot measure him with time. Purana Purushaha means ancient, means what? Anadi, always there. That's what it means. Purana Purushaha. People call Adam and Eve as Purana Purusha and Sri, in Christianity. But he is Purana Purushaha means what? He is the ancient, meaning from him everything rises. Everything is projected. So he is the Purana Purushaha. Nirantara Akanda Sukhanubhuti. And what is his nature? Nirantara, continuous, without any break. Akhanda, without any beginning or end. Akhanda. Pilavu Padada Unarvu Nilai. Sukhanubhutihi. Ananda Swarupam. Sukha Anubhutihi. Means when you realize that and abide in that, there is no sort of slipping away from that. Always you are in that state of bliss. That is what it is. Nirantara Akhanda Sukhanubhutihi. Sukha. And there is no any taint of dukkha. Sukhanubhuti. So maybe these are all chocolates, to tempt us. If you go there, always you are joyful and blissful. It is not chuma. Really it is like that. So, yena kena prakarena, if we know this and abide in this, then that is it. All the sorrows are destroyed. End of all sorrows. And nirantara sukhanubhuti. Sad eka rupaha. Eka rupaha means what? It will never change. It remains the same always. Eka rupaha. It is not a chameleon. Chameleon they say, it changes its color according to its environment. But this is same always. Eka rupaha. Pradibodha matraha. And always of the nature of the pure knowledge. Bodha means knowledge. Pratibodha matraha means it is of the nature of the knowledge. Yena ishita vag savaha charanti. Yena ishita means because of its order, as if. Ishita, because of its order or because of its presence. Vag, the speech. Vasavaha, the pranaha. Charanti, they function in the respective field. So, without that Atma Tattvam, there is no scope for any speech or even for the prana. But through speech you cannot explain it. See, it is behind the speech, without which you cannot speak. But with the speech you cannot describe it. And it is behind the prana. Prana means the life force. If Atma Swarupam is not there, there is no prana, nothing. But through pranayama, you cannot reach. Pranayama is helpful to control the mind. And afterwards, one has to attend to the Chaitanya Vastu, to abide in the conscious principle. See, prana is jada sambandha. By working on jada sambandha prana, you cannot reach Chaitanya Sambandha Atma Swarupa. See, this is very clear. Swami Tapovanam has said clearly. Swami Tapovanam has said very clear. This prana is jada. So, working on the jada, you cannot reach Chaitanya. So, it helps in controlling the mind, quietening the mind. Afterwards, you have to apply the mind on contemplation of that pure self. Or attend on to that Chaitanya Vastu, I, that conscious entity. Then only you really abide there. And prana means what? It's movement, it comes in, goes out. But this is beyond all movement. Self is beyond all movement. So you cannot say prana is the self. But prana goes means, I told you the other day, the glue between the gross body and subtle body is gone. So the subtle body departs. That much only. But behind all this is the Atma Swarupa. Swamiji, what is the proof? You are the proof. See, this consciousness or awareness is distinctly different from everything else. Is that not so? This knowledge, I know, the knowledge aspect is distinctly different from everything else. That is something very extraordinary and wonderful. That I know. And the essence of that is the Swarupa. Because whatever we say as knowledge principle also sometimes we refer only to the reflected consciousness. So the essence of that is our own Swarupam, absolute existence. So we need not go anywhere. Wherever you are, there is the truth. Now and here. Then why people go for Tirtha Yatras? Everything to purify the mind only. Purify the mind only. Wherever you go, your mind is coming along with you. If you don't handle the mind properly, if you don't transcend the mind and intellect, there is no escape. There is no vimochanam. At the most, all these things may help to purify the mind. But then one has to really turn within. See, that is what Bhagavan says. There is no point in running away to a forest, jungle. Because wherever you run, you are there with you. You are the problem. See, if somebody else is the problem, then you can run away from that person and say, Appada, Tappichempan. But wherever you run away, you are there with you. That is the problem. So, wherever you are, stay put, be there and work on this ahankara. How to reduce it, how to destroy the ahankara. Then you are a master. Wherever you are, you can live peacefully and happily. But if not, wherever you go, you are miserable. Not only you are miserable, you make everybody miserable. So this is the problem. The wise people give happiness wherever they go. The otherwise, whenever they go. Whenever they go, people are happy. Appa. So our Acharya is இதெல்லாம் பயங்கரமான ஒரு saying. The wise people spread happiness wherever they go. The otherwise, whenever they go. And whether you attract people around you or you are a human repellent depends on your character. Like mosquito repellent, some people are human repellent. When they go, everybody runs away. Ayyo, vanduranda. Everybody runs away. Human repellent. Why? Such a negative energy, vibration around that person. People cannot stand, and they don't know about that. So therefore, it is pradibodha matram. It is of the nature of true knowledge. Yena ishita. Commanded by it. Here it is given commanded. By that, the sense organs and the prana perform their functions. Moving on. Atraiva sattvat manidi guhayam. Atraiva sattvat manidi guhayam. Avyakrita akasha ushat prakashaha. Avyakrita akasha ushat prakashaha. Akasha uchchai ravivat prakashate. Akasha uchchai Swatejasa vishwamidam prakashayan. Atraiva sattvat manidi guhayam. Avyakrita akasha ushat prakashaha. Akasha uchchai ravivat prakashate. Swatejasa vishwamidam prakashayan. Atra eva means in this very body. Here, atra means here, in this very body. Sattvatmani. The mind which is filled with sattva. We have seen the sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. So the mind which is filled with sattva. Sattva means what? A balance. Sattva means prakasha, clarity. Sattva means what? Quiet, alert, vigilant. That is sattva. That mind is sattva, sattvic mind. So sattvatmani means in the mind filled with sattva. Di guhayam, in the cave of the intellect. Di means buddhi. Di guhayam avyakrita akasha. In that chidakasha, avyakrita means unmanifest. Unmanifest this in the chidakasha. Chidakasha means where chideva akasha. Chiddin solvonya, that itself is akasha. So, avyakrita akasha, ushat prakashaha. It is very effulgent. Ushat Prakashaha. Akasha Uchchai Ravivat. Like the sun, which is the midday sun, we say, no? Which is at the peak. Like that, this Atma, the self, Ravivat, like the sun, Prakashate, it shines. So where it shines, where it can be caught means what? Where it can be experienced, or where it can be, where we can abide. Once when you have the sattva in you, when the mind is very quiet, and then buddhi is very alert, there the Atma Chaitanyam can be realized. In that Chid Akasha, he is shining like the sun. Uchchai Akasha. Remember, in the midday sun, like at its peak, he is effulgent, resplendent. They say, no? It's very beautiful, shining. Actually speaking, when the sun is at its peak, you cannot see him. You cannot see him. Only when he is setting or he is rising, you can see. When he is in his peak, though he is shining, but you can't see. You are blinded. You are blinded. And not only he shines, Swatejasa Vishwamidam Prakashayan. Like the sun by its own light, he illumines everything. Like that, this Jnana Suryan within the heart, he illumines all the thoughts, all the ideas, all the concepts. Since he is illuminating all the thoughts, all the objects are known. See, without thought, object cannot be known. See, objects are, let us say, outside, and you are inside. How do you know? Through thoughts only you know. So, when the thoughts are not illumined, nothing is known. See, sometimes when you sleep, some people you see, their eyes are a little open. Some people, they have got this konja kannu thirandirukkum. So eyes are open, they are not seeing anything. Why? Because that consciousness is not peeping out. Yeah, similarly ears also, it is wide open only, but we don't hear anything. Why? Because the consciousness is peeping out. So consciousness is important to know everything, anything or everything. So Swatejasa, by his own light, he illumines everything. Understand? Again and again it is said, the same thing only is said. What is said? He is a substratum of everything. Without him, nothing arises, nothing goes back, nothing is there. And because of his light, everything shines. And since he is, the jivas enjoy some happiness. When all the equipments are dropped, then there is Ananda only. So, Satchit Ananda Swarupam, it is said. Pure existence, knowledge, and Ananda means bliss. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Ananta means infinite, means no beginning, no end. Always, eternal. So, these are all the certain pointers to point the self, Atma, the self. So see how elaborate he is talking about Atma. In the Atma Bodham, he is dedicating almost 61 verses to talk about only the Atma, the self, Atma Bodham. If time permits, we will take Atma Bodham because very interesting actually. See, this space if we go, we can cover some Vivekachudamani before we go into the second course, that is after December 27th, the second course starts. There we will have Atma Bodham also, one of the sessions. So Vivekachudamani for 2 sessions, Atma Bodha for 1 session. We will have, it's very interesting Atma Bodham because there are a lot of analogies, examples given to drive through a point. See, every verse almost there is an analogy. That is the glory of Adi Shankara, beauty of Adi Shankara. We need not think about anything, any examples. He himself gives liberally. Every verse he gives some analogy. That is the beauty of Adi Shankara. Even Jnaneshwar Maharaj, recently we were studying his Amrita Anubhava. My God, How many beautiful examples is giving. Oh, example after example. Such great masters. And he also lived only for 16 years. He entered into Jiva Samadhi. Means alive, he entered into Samadhi and they closed it. A young boy of say 13, 14, 15, he has composed such wonderful literature. And you know what? Very, very amazing thing. The whole of the village and whole of Maharashtra calls him as mother. Mother. Mauli. In Marathi, Mauli means mother. So they call this young boy as mother. See, let us say if he is a very old person, you are like motherly, very affectionate, if you say also, we can understand. But to call a 13, 14-year teenager by all the elders of the village or the place as Mauli, Jnaneshwara Mauli. That is how they call him. Means what sort of life he must have lived. So he also gives example after example. Hey, go. Hey, endiruka maatenga Rahul. There is nothing here. Okay. Now they are used to it. They will come every day now. They came. They may come again.
He made buffalo to sing Veda.
True.
He or his brother.
He.
Yes.
He made buffaloes to sing Vedas. Buffaloes or cows? I don't know. Yeah, cows I suppose. To sing Veda.
No,
Buffalo? Okay, maybe buffalo.
This much of Naneshwari.
Yeah. He commented on Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so Swatejasa Vishwamitam Prakashayam. So Atma Bodham also will see, that's what I was talking about. So here, by his own light, he illumines everything. Jnata manoham kriti vikriyanam dehendriya prana krita kriyanam ayognivatta nanuvartamanaha न चेष्टते नो विकरोति किंचन ज्ञाता मनोहं कृति विक्रियाणां देहेन्द्रिय प्राण कृत क्रियाणां अयोग्निवत्ता ननुवर्तमानः न चेष्टते नो विकरोति किंचन. See, these masters, how much efforts they take to explain things. See, again, through various methodologies, they try to explain. Here what he is saying, he is a jnata, he is a knower of what? Manaha, the mind, ahankriti, meaning the ahankara, and all its modifications, vikriyanam, all its modifications. And dehendriya prana krita kriyanam. And also he is aware of the activities, kriyanam means of the activities of a deha, indriya, prana, etc. Activities of the body and the sense organs and the prana, etc. He knows everything. And not only that, ayo agnivat tan anuvartamanaha. See, this example is always given like the fireball coming in contact with like the iron ball coming in contact with the fire. See, let us say there is a fire and you put the iron ball in it. And later you will see the iron ball is glowing. So the fire has got no form. The iron ball has no heat or light. So when they come together, they exchange their dharma. So what happens? The fire in the shape of iron ball. So the fire has got no form. That iron ball gives the form to the fire. Sorry, iron ball has got form, fire has got no form. So when they come together, what happens? It gets a form. The fire gets a form, and the iron ball, the heat and the light. That sort of exchange happens. Similarly, matter and the spirit. It is Jada. He is Chaitanya. So he has no Nama Rupa, but they have no light of their own. When they come together, unholy wedding between the matter and the spirit happens. So he takes the form of all the indriyas, the mana and their modifications. But na cheshrate, no vikaroti kinchana. Even then, he is not involved in any of the activities, or he is not affected by it. So this is what is said again and again. Tadatmyam, they say. Tadatmyam means when they come together, means you cannot distinguish. The identification is there. When the matter and spirit come together, you cannot separate which is matter, which is spirit. So identified with each other. Like the iron ball and the fire, when they come together, you cannot distinguish between the fire and the iron ball. Except the iron ball gives the form, the fire gives the heat and light. So both of them exist together as if. Similarly, the matter and the spirit, when they come together also, you cannot distinguish. The matter has got no light of its own, and this consciousness or this reflected doesn't have any form of its own. So both of them, when they come together, they exist beautifully. But even then, this Atma Swarupam is not involved in any of its activities or not affected by any of the changes. It remains the same. See, that is why all these happenings are called as Vivarta. Vivarta means actually not happening. It is only virtual, as if happening. You know, virtual world, no? Actually nothing is happening, but you see as if happening.
It appears to be real, but not real.
Yeah, it appears to be real, like, you are right. But it is not real.
Snake and rope, ghost and ghost.
Yeah, all those things are wonderful. But I had a very first-hand experience. Few years back, I had gone to this Disneyland in Orlando, in Florida. There, what is that? Some in a box, Pandora box. There is a sort of this Pandora box. Sort of, the name of that this thing is Pandora box. There is a room where there are some 10-15 chairs, and you sit there and you put the belt. Definitely you have to put the belt, right? Nothing, just a wall in front of you. Then they switch off all the light, and before that they summa reel la viduvan nariya naanuma adilende eduthu manasukku edho pugutappo adella reel enakku theriyum. But what happens when you sit there, they project something, and no more you feel that you are in a room. Everything vanishes, all the walls, everything vanishes. It's pitch dark, so you don't see the chair also. And then the avatar scene, is projected. Avatar, that fellow flies in some sort of a he flies in that. So actually you are connected sort of thing with that fellow. So you are flying actually. Actually you are flying. Not only you are flying, if you see below, thousands of buffaloes will be running. You would see as if the buffaloes are running. And so real that you forget that you are in a room along with so many people. You are actually flying with that fellow. You are that fellow who are flying. And you see the virtual. Oh my God, it's so real. Whang, it goes like that. You may fall also. If you are not wearing the seat belt, you will really fall. And I was thoroughly stunned by what I saw. My God, illa maya vinodamaya. I tell you, whatever these fellows do, they do it beautifully. See, நம்ம தான் சும்மா நம்ம தான் கெட்டி காமிச்சிடும். No, what they do, excellent, and that is virtual. You are not undergoing anything, but still you are undergoing everything. My God, so real. You are flying actually, and the ocean down below ocean, and zwang it goes, and you will fall into the ocean. And then thousands of buffaloes. That film Avatar, it comes, it seems. I have not seen it. So you see, my God. And when everything is switched off, the light goes, light is switched on, everything on, Pata, we are in the same room. Exactly, we are part of the dream. We are going through the dream, and we are the experience of the dream. Because, see, if you are in your dream, but aware that you are not dreaming, it's just a dream if you are aware, how it would be. Like that it was. So, that day I thought, oh, this is Maya in its original form. Everything is happening when there was nothing happening.
Awareness is must.
Yeah, but you will be carried away.
If you are clear and everything, you will not enjoy.
No, yeah, that is true. But actually speaking, they have created such a thing, you will fall down actually. If you are not alert, you will fall down. That is why they say, put the seat belt, don't be careless. And have you walked on that glass bridge? Somewhere it is there. See, you know, China, na? Right. And also, I think in Chicago somewhere there is a projected a balcony made of glass. Have you been there? In some lower floor la irukum. Toronto also there? Yeah. See, you know it is a pakka glass. You know it's a pakka glass, you will not fall. But you dare not walk, you know. You will not dare to walk. So much of fear. See, you know very clearly it is a glass, and they have made it very, very pakka. You will never fall. Nobody will die, because they will be sued crores of rupees. So they take all, but you cannot walk. Such a fear is created. So these are all, you know, we can't account it. So therefore, everything is happening when nothing is happening. This is Maya. So, so you are there, means the self is there, illumining everything, and because of its light, everything is happening. But in that, as if self is also involved, as if self is also going through all the modification, that tadatmyam is there, like the iron ball and the fire. But still, nothing happens to the self. It is not undergoing any modification. That is the glory of the self. Therefore, it is said all is appearance. Virtual means what? It is not happening, as though happening. So that flight and seeing the ocean, it is not happening, but as though happening. Oh, this is Maya. See how helpful it is. See, people say sannyasi should not go here, go there. When you go, you watch, you relate, and you get the first-hand experience. Oh, this is Maya. My God, these fellows are very, very clever, very brilliant fellows. And also, see, here we watch 3D film, na? Or Kannada kudutruvaanga. It is not at all a 3D film. Disneyland, you watch a 3D film, I tell you, they really excel in everything. Whatever they do, they excel. That we have to learn from them. சும்மா என்னுடைய கல்ச்சர், என்னுடைய இது சும்மா அந்த பஞ்சாங்கத்தை பாடிட்டு இருக்கக்கூடாதுப்பா. எதுக்கு எடுத்தாலும் உடனே நம்ம ரிஷி பரம்பரை, அதுவும் கிடையாது, இங்கே ஒன்றும் கிடையாது, எல்லாம் மண்ணாக போச்சு. See how they excel in that field. My God, whatever they do it perfectly. You know what happened? At the end, as if a rat was running in that show, and they do something here. I don't know what they do. In the seat, they do something. And we say, oh! They do all sorts of things. Really, you feel, they do all such things, you know. And 3D means it comes like this. I am in awe of their excellence, you know. whatever said and done, you have to appreciate, you have to give the credit where it is due. Their dedication, their involvement, they do it perfect. They don't compromise. Number chalta hai, konja neswasa senja podumpa. They don't compromise. That is why they are excelling. Chumma illappa. When I come and tell all these things to our people, they say, you are, glorifying everything. You go and see there. See, there are problems, lot of problems, nobody denies. But certain things really amusing and impressive actually, impressive. So therefore, this you get first hand. Everything is happening when there is nothing happening. Everything is virtual. Maya. You get the first hand experience of Maya. Like Narada had the first hand experience of Maya. Within no time he went through all 15, 20, 30 years. So that is Maya. In dream also, we go through like this, it seems. That's what people say. But we would have gone through a lifetime experience, So the time itself is very relative. Time not as we think actually. Is very, very relative. So even though there is so much of tadatmyam, like the iron ball and the fire, between the matter and the spirit, but still the spirit in its essential form is not at all involved or not at all affected. So that is spirit or that essential self I am. So when I identify with the self always, then even though I am living in this world, doing my role, I am not affected by anything. I don't feel I am doing, and I don't get affected also. So I live a life of freedom and bliss. See, that is the spiritual living. Moving on. See, this is very, very famous verse actually. न जायतो नो म्रियते न वर्धते न क्षीयते नो विकरोति नित्यः विलीयमानोऽपि वपुष्यमुष्मिन् न लीयते कुम्भैवाम्बरं स्वयं न जायते नो म्रियते न वर्धते न क्षीयते नो विकरोति नित्यः विलीयमानेऽपि वपुष्यमुष्मिन् न लीयते कुम्भैवाम्बरं स्वयं. This idea comes in Bhagavad Gita also. Na jayate, it is not born. The true self is not born. What is birth? Birth means what? It was not there, and at a point of time it was born. It has come into existence. There was no time you can say, I was not. Why? You are there to say, I was not. The self cannot be denied at all, negated at all. So, it is always present. Therefore, there is no birth. Na jayate. No mriyate. Never ever you can have the experience of your own absence. But death, Swamiji, have you experienced death? You are only imagining death. Now you experience death, you will know that you will not go into non-existence. That is what Bhagavan experienced. In spite of the body and mind just disappearing, he was, I am. That's what he realized. So there is no death. This self will never die. Na vardate, you cannot improve upon the self. Because it is Purnam. Na vardate. No. by these management techniques, you can improve the self. There is no need to improve because it is Purnam. It is perfect. Therefore, it never grows. Nakshiyate. It cannot deteriorate or it cannot become worse. Why? It is Purnam. Nothing can happen to it. Nakshiyate. Na vikaroti nityaha. It will never change from one state to other state. Nityaha. Eternal. Ever the same. So therefore, in me, the true self, there is no birth, there is no death, there is no growth or decay, there is no change. Everything is negated. So when your Guru says, he is beyond this body and mind, he is never born, he will never die, then still if you celebrate his Jayanti, his birthday, are you not insulting your Guru? He says, I am not born, I am the self. But you say, no, you are born, you are with the body. We will celebrate your birthday also. So that I can also celebrate my birthday and we will celebrate your birthday also. So what we will do? We will bring a cake and light candle and blow it off and cut the cake and eat. They don't eat nowadays they don't eat, it seems. I don't know why they do it. That is fun, Everybody knows it's going to happen. Everybody is ready for that also. And you buy a cake and don't eat also. So I don't know why they do this. That is celebration of your birthday. That is why we don't allow anybody to celebrate our birthday and we don't celebrate anybody's birthday also. We don't even wish. People say, what Swami, you are not wishing me? Hurry, you are not born. We tell you, you are not this body. And you only say, I am born. Such and such date I was born. You can never be born and you will never die.
But you need Aadhaar card, Swami.
That is all Vyavahar. That is all Vyavahar. Adharam. Not even the Brahman is Adharam. Aadhaar card is Aadhaar. So, therefore, I cannot improve. Whatsoever you do, I cannot improve because I am already perfect. See, our Acharya used to say, so many Mahatmas have come and gone, they could not do anything to me. Why? Because I am the self. What can they do? So, no sort of improvement, or nobody can destroy me, or there is no sort of deterioration. I am always the same. Nityaha, ever the same. Viliyamanehe api vapushya amushmin na liyate. Even though the body dies, vapushya means this body. Even though this body dies, Viliyamani api vapushya amushmin na liyate. This self never dies. That is what Sri Krishna says, no? In Bhagavad Gita, in the 2nd chapter, he says, nobody dies. Why are you grieving? For which you should never grieve. Because even though the body dies, the soul or the self never dies. At the most, the jiva takes another body. Like giving up one body, he takes another. Like changing the dress, clothes. But as the pure self, there is no change. So it is said, even though the body is dead and gone, I am not dead. Like how? Like Kumbha Ivambaram Swayam. Like the pot space in the pot. See, there is a pot space inside the pot. Actually, there is a space in which a pot is brought. Pot can never condition the space. But we feel inside pot space and then universal space, we think that is all okay. But if you break the pot also, nothing happens to the pot space or any space. Similarly, even the body is broken, dead and gone, nothing happens to the self. Like the space, it allows everything, it gives avakasha, it gives room to everything, but it is not affected by anything. So the self, in self there is the world, in self there is me, in self everything is happening, but nothing happens to the self. It gives avakasha, space, room for everything to happen in it, but it is not affected by anything, and nothing can destroy the space, because the gross can never destroy the subtle. The gross can never condition the subtle. I am the subtlest, so nothing can affect me, touch me, destroy me. Like the pot space is not touched even though the pot is broken, even though the body is gone, nothing happens to me. This is the knowledge. So with this knowledge, when we live, there is no fear of death. Swamiji, I am not actually having the fear of death, but my concern is, if I am born somewhere else in Somalia, what will happen to me? Why? I am concerned about my next future life. Then also there is a problem. As a self, you don't go anywhere, come from anywhere. You are always, no, you are not born, you will never die means, you are once again identified with the body mind only, Jiva Bhavam only, going and coming and all. We should not identify with anything except the self, and we should live from that standpoint. I am the self. As far as possible, we should live in the utter present, not to think about the past or the future. Only when you start thinking of the future, then there is a fear. What will happen to me? Suppose if I die before realizing the self, then what will happen to me? Where will I go? Again I will be born and I have to study A, B, C, D. Again there will be a sort of persecuting father and mother. Yo, padida, padida, uira vaanguvaangale, enna seirudhu? Why do you think about the future? Whenever you think about the future, you are in the Jiva Bhavam. Think about the past also, you are in the Jiva Bhavam. If you live in the present, utter presence, that is the self-knowledge. So when you live in the present, there is no problem. When the mind goes to the future, you say, it is all imaginary future. Present is real. Live in the present. Die in the present. Be in the present. And there is no problem. So please read this book, Power of Now. It's very beautiful. When you live in the present, utter presence, actually there is no problem. Huh? Somebody else. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.